Nice to meet you, Drazen, and welcome back to the conference. This year, you're in a bit of a different role than you were in years past. So, could you talk about the Bird Incubator and how you help startups with it?
So we have an organization in Croatia called CroAI, and this is like association of all the companies who are involved in AI landscape, either as software vendors or consulting vendors or as early adopters of the technologies. And actually the idea of the whole association is to put Croatia on AI map of Europe as one of the best places to start and develop your AI company or startup or project. And as one of the bigger IT companies and members, we have actually decided to contribute to development of the ecosystem by starting off this incubator. And that happened in February this year because we as a company had an opportunity to rent another office space nearby our current office space because we are constantly growing, but since due to COVID crisis, way of work changed dramatically and a lot of people are now working from home. Actually, we had very nice space in the center of Zagreb, about 450 square meters, that was available for use for the incubator, so we actually decided to start the incubator.
Sticking with the theme of startups, how do you choose startups for your incubator? And what are some of the most important things in the process that you look for when you decide to support a startup?
So there are a few things that are important. First thing is that this is the incubator that is focused on AI and advanced analytics. So the product, so it must be product startup. They shouldn't be like, okay, we will sell consulting or something. So they must work on a product, and this product should be either related to some core developments of AI algorithms in some fields, or it should use existing algorithms to solve some new problems that were not handled before with AI and advanced analytic topics. So those are the basic criteria, and the third criteria is of course that they should be in incubating phase. So they should have either first prototype or they are in process or creating prototype or MVP. And they need to have defined targets for the duration of the program of 6 months, and those targets should be both in product development and also in business development. So to gather the team, to hire the people, to define the organization, to define the business model, to start the company. And the idea is that all that stuff related to incorporation and starting the company and building the team should be in Zagreb. And of course, we have a lot of international teams, and the idea is to bring those teams to Zagreb, to Croatia, and to bring more and more foreign people and foreign investment also to Zagreb.
The startup scene has become very vibrant in the region in the past few years. And in Croatia, for instance, you had Infobip, which became the first Balkan unicorn, and now Rimac Technologies, which is also paving the road towards the same goal. In your opinion, and given your vast experience, what is the overall status of the tech startup scene in southeastern and central Europe? And are our startups ready to pick some of the bigger investments coming from the US, for instance?
Yeah, so I think first we shouldn't consider Infobip as a startup. because they exist for 15 years. They were startup a long time ago. Now they are in focus because they are a brilliant company and they are unicorn and they are raising a lot of investments, but they are also very inspiring company for everybody who wants to start the business. And they are also our partners of the incubator. They have their startup tribe program, so they are working quite a lot in this area. Overall, in the last 2 years, there are a lot of investments both in startups and also in mature companies who are getting sold to bigger foreign companies like Nanobit in Croatia or Five or this gaming company in Serbia, Nordeus. And this is something that really can give a lot of hope to startups. But bottom line, still, it's much easier to fund startup or get investment if you are in US or I don't know, in Singapore or in London or in Berlin, because we are still in this VC funding quite less developed regions and areas compared to the Western Europe. And I can quote one very interesting person and friend of mine, Damir Sabal from Microblick and Photomat, when they also raised investment for B round. He was on one interview and they asked him, okay, why did you go with Microblink to London? And he told, because if you are incorporated in London, you can put 1 0 more on all your invoices. So basically everything that you do as a UK or US companies, you can charge and earn more money than if you are a company from Balkans.
And could we expect a startup similar to like Skype to come from the region in the next 5 years?
Maybe regarding the amount of funding and how much Microsoft paid for it, but definitely in some other area. I think we can expect it. And there are really a lot of interesting companies. Even in our incubator, I think we have at least 2 companies who have serious potential to become unicorns. That will not happen overnight. They would need 5, maybe 10 years to go to that way. But definitely there is a lot of potential. But still, a lot of founders who are from Croatia or Serbia, they are going still to UK or Ireland and they are starting their companies there. Although they are founders from Croatia and the region, because having the company there and being part of that ecosystem is making fundraising much easier.
Now, as mentioned earlier, you have 2 roles, one inside the Bird Incubator and the other as the president of the board of Poslovna Inteligencija. So, what can we expect from Poslovna Inteligencija in the next few months?
So, we also in Poslovna Inteligencija, we have our internal startup. So, we are very into this entrepreneurship stuff. This startup is something that's called Data Privacy Manager. It's a software that helps organizations with all the processes and data related to GDPR and similar regulations that are now coming worldwide about handling of personal data of data subjects and employees and customers. So this software is very successful. we are marketing this software globally, and we are now close to 100 customers. And what we will do beginning of next year, we will do the carve out of this software and team who is developing and marketing and selling the software in a separate new company. And a few months after that, we will go to the process of raising of Series A investment for the data privacy manager. And also our vision for data privacy manager is to become in 4 to 5 years fourth Croatian unicorn. So we also have ambitious plans, and I hope we will be on track with those plans.
And lastly, I'm not sure that many people know this, but the idea of franchising the conference actually came from you back in 2019. So what would you like to see from us in 2022?
I discussed that with Alexander, who is main organizer of the conference. So we discussed the idea to have again in Croatia live conference, and to make this conference more regional, so to attract people from Hungary, Slovenia, Austria, and Italy. And I think this is a good idea, and we can do this. Personally, I think Data Science Conference is one really good example how we in the region can cooperate in this area. There are some other conferences that are mainly startup conferences or development conferences that are very closed to respective markets and or open to participants and speakers from Western Europe and America. For example, there are some conferences in Slovenia, and they don't have almost any startups or speakers participating from Croatia, which is just across the border. And also in Croatia, there are some conferences without almost any people from Slovenia. And we are actually trying to change this in the incubator. We have already several mentors and partners from Slovenia, and since we are still quite new, I think this presentation of the incubator here at the conference will result in some teams from Serbia applying for the program in the incubator, also some potential mentors and some potential partners from Serbia, so we can really make not just conferences but also incubators and this whole ecosystem more regional and not closed within the borders, because half of our teams already in the incubator are from US, Slovakia, Belgium, Denmark, Germany, India. So it's a very international community, and I think other half is from Croatia, but I would also like to have good teams from Serbia, from Macedonia, Bosnia, Montenegro, and other countries in the region, because there is no other such incubator anywhere close. And I think with really good team of more than 70 mentors that we have, a lot of free technology resources, space for working, all the knowledge, all the industry partners, they can get really a lot of value and build this ecosystem to attract more people from other parts of Europe to come here, because I don't know if you live in Helsinki or in Oslo, I think it will be like a bingo to come to Mediterranean and to enjoy nice weather, good food, good lifestyle, and also have the chance to develop your product and your company. My name is Drazen Orescanin. I am one of the founders and president of the board of Poslovna Inteligencija. Poslovna Inteligencija is a leading implementer of data management and analytical systems in Southeast Europe with more than 170 employees, and we are also running our startup incubator for AI and analytics that is called Bird Incubator in Zagreb.